Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Scoop here on Friday, the 4th of December. Can you believe it is one day after Graham's birthday? And it is also, got a bit of pork pie up here, 1 second. This wasn't part of the script. Just had a bit of scoffing a pork pie before I came online. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. But it's also Shogun's birthday as well, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday. If you could all welcome him, I don't know if he's here, but just say happy birthday to him. That'll be absolutely fantastic. I don't know if Graham's joining us today. Obviously, he is well and truly stuffed after yesterday and his birthday antics. So yeah, it's now officially 5 days before my birthday. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. My 30th. So the countdown is on. But enough about all of that. Well, welcome everyone. We are Ice Cream Uploads. This is The Scoop, the self-proclaimed UK's #1 video game podcast, and we bring you the daily dose of news from around the video game world and beyond. My name is We've Got Binio, aka Bibby, aka Top Shogger, aka Saviour of Morrowind. This is great. No, it's not, because he isn't here today. We're back on Monday as the gruesome twosome continues to give you the video game news that you need to know about. We give you our thoughts and impressions on the breaking stories, as well as your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So you can share those with us live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every weekday at 10 a.m. ish. It's 10:43 today. You know what I mean? This isn't our full-time job. We have stuff to do beforehand. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to make sure that we hit deadlines and blah, 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 blah. Real work stuff. We give you this stuff when we're able to. It's usually around 10 a.m.-ish. Ish is the big ish. But I hope you're all doing well anyway. But that's not the best thing. It is important that every single one of you are here in the chat, because this is a live show which gets turned into a podcast and gets put on all demand services as well as YouTube. But if you want to listen to this on the go, you can do by going onto SoundCloud, Twitter. No! I nearly had it. SoundCloud, Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. There we go. They're the four major podcast services that you can find. So just search for The Scoop or Ice Cream Uploads, and you should be able to find us. But we want you to be live. We want you in the chat. We want you to be able to have this conversation with you, because today and yesterday, you're just going to have one angry ginger Mancunian screaming down the microphone at you for at least around about 45 minutes, shall we say. Because this is obviously a watered down, just giving you the top level news that you need to know to get you through the weekend until Graham returns on Monday. We want to keep the spot hot. We want to keep you up to date with what's going on in the world. And by God, do we have some stories for you today. We've got 3 stories coming at you live from Manchester. So looking at the chat, it looks like we've got Lake in early doors. Good morning to you, Lake. Steel Banzai coming in. I think that was with the host. I apologise. I only have the dashboard that doesn't show everything. Let me see if I can connect to chatbot today, because it had a bit of a shit fit yesterday. So I'll let that do that thing, and I'll read through the rest of the chat as we go through. Steel Banzai says, morning, everyone. Is that Liam and Noel behind you, mate? Yes, it is. Well, I mean, I was going to say good eyes, but you can't really miss him. Morning, Gagad, as well. Let me just... How good is that? I think that was a Christmas present last year from Samantha. But if you'd have seen where he used to live, I was in the corner of my bedroom, and the depth of the room, it was massive. So if I'd have put it on the wall at the very far end, you'd have seen it over the bed, but just about. But because this room's quite shallow and narrow, you can see everything. I'm getting stuff to go on this side of the wall, because it's a little bit naked at the moment. So I have got stuff. I mean, I've got something. That's something right there. There it is. I mean, for those of you that are Pro Evo fans, this might be a bit of interest to you. But for the rest of you who have no idea who these people are, it probably has absolutely no interest to you. But over the mic. So these are the PES edition players in cartoon form. So that's going to be going on the wall. I just need to buy something to put it on the wall. So that's pretty cool. That's in A3. Oasis, what a band. Yes, mate. With me, with the host, no worries. Seen them live twice, you lucky bastard. I had tickets to go and watch them at Eaton Park back in 2007, I think it was. Maybe 2008. And I was skint, so I sold my ticket. And what the biggest regret in my life that was, because I split up like 3 months later. Absolutely livid. But I've seen them both live since, separately, obviously. But yeah, again, this is a video game podcast, so I think we'll try and get into some news in a minute. Right, okay. Yeah, the chat bot is deciding not to work again today, so that's something that I'll have to do away from this with Graham, because that's how we roll. But anyway, let me go back to the normal screen. You've seen this in the big wide screen. Let's get us in the scoop screen so we know where we are. Scoop camera. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bibby home, just a single figure, a lonely figure there, alongside Sonic. But you're ready for video game news, so why don't we start with the absolute doozy that is. Now, this is going to boil a lot of piss, and you may have seen it from the lead story that I posted on Twitter, just giving you a little inkling as to what it is. Now, I know for a fact, I wanted to bring my cat in before we went live, because I don't know if you can hear it, but she can try it. She tries to open the door. In the old house, she could open the door, but here, she can't. She hasn't got enough power to pull the handle down, so you can just hear the handle. 1 second, let me go and get her. She'll run in and she'll jump on this windowsill here. 1 second. Like absolute clockwork. Try and get her in the room so she doesn't try and get big banging noise. Anyway, it's a whole thing. This is what you get when it's a live show. You never know what the hell's going to happen. But you may have seen the lead part of this story on Twitter, because obviously that's where we like to post our teasers. And if you are in the UK, this is going to boil a lot of piss. And this is probably the worst that we've seen so far. Let me just go to it. Now she's tickling my leg. CEX is under fire from customers as staff an eye-watering price of £815 for a PlayStation 5. Now, this has been posted on Eurogamer by Tom Phillips, and the tagline is, "Am I expecting to receive abuse from customers when the stores reopen?" Absolutely. Now, this has to be one of the biggest shithouse things, top line, that I have seen. Not only are people scalping this console for face value and then trying to sell it at double the price on like Facebook Marketplace or eBay, or perhaps even triple the price in some instances. A retail store on your local high street has consoles that they are trying to get double the price for, considering that someone would have brought... I mean, it could be CEX bought them themselves and just put them in the shop windows because I know people are going to come in and get them. But I can't see many shops surviving this. I think there will be quite a few angry people not being too polite to some of the staff, shall we say. But anyway, high street trading giants CEX has come under fire for its £815 pre-owned PlayStation 5 price, a vastly inflated figure compared to the console standard £450 retail price. A quick check of CEX stores to Eurogamer's Brighton office suggests that there is a decent amount of pre-owned PS5s in stock in the chain, but customers and even members of its chain-owned shop staff have expressed distaste at the pricing. Brand new PlayStation 5 consoles are essentially sold out in the UK at the moment, although Sony has said more shipments will arrive before the end of the year. That's something that we actually mentioned last week, so, you know, leading journalists in the video game world, shall we say? Yep, okay, we'll go with that. In the meantime, eBay is doing a roaring trade if you can avoid the scams, and CEX currently pays £650 cash, a full £200 more than the console's retail price, to encourage you to sell a PlayStation 5 to the company. UK customers experienced a number of issues trying to get PlayStation 5s for themselves ahead of Christmas, with demand outweighing supplies across the country. Thousands of consoles scalped for reselling, and Amazon suffering worrying issues with consoles going missing, presumed stolen, across its delivery network. Against the backdrop of all that, well, it's no surprise CEX's £815 price has raised some eyebrows. "The price is dreadful," writes one online customer review from an account named Don't Be Greedy. "Come on, the RRP is £449. You are totally cashing in on this and are no better than the scalpers. Be fair, guys. Yes, make a profit. I understand you're a business. Charge 500 sheets, but 815 is far too much. Come on, man. The disc version is £450 a game, and you're going to charge an extra £350 for the PlayStation 5? Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Another review reads, even the chain store staff speaking to Eurogamer under conditions of anonymity to protect their jobs told me they feel uncomfortable. Some said they are concerned about the reaction from customers who see the £815 price advertised outside their stores. Just down the road from shops sold out of new consoles listed at £450 English. Obviously, none of us think this is good. One staff member told me, we have been told that their price is higher to match what eBay, but that's when it's £750. Now it is even bigger. CEX is legally in the right to put the prices to whatever they want, but morally I find it repugnant. I think that is. I mean, my reading isn't the best, and yeah, you can tell. GCSEC, let's go boys. And things are helping to keep the scalping prices so high in a year when we could all use a little bit less crap to deal with. A new console might bring someone's mood up, and I know personally I use games as a stress release to take my mind off things. Another staff member said they'd seen plenty of consoles flow in the CEX since the PlayStation 5's release, attracted by the bigger chain's £650 cash offer. The demand is sky high, they said. People will still pay that, even if it means staff can expect to earn an earful as a result. I completely understand the argument about the high price, of course. There is a moral dilemma that comes with it. And am I expecting to receive abuse from customers when the stores reopen? Absolutely. Am I comfortable selling a £450 console for over £800? Not really, but if someone is going to pay it, I'm not going to turn them away. An internal email seen by Eurogamer regarding the prices for a pre-owned Xbox Series X stock specifically mentions the sky-high prices on eBay, and that's compared to some of those. Angry customers should be told CEX's own option was lower. The email acknowledgement that staff will likely be questioned by customers about the chain's markup pricing and advertised staff is to pass on to some of the chain's reasoning behind it. In short, this boils down to meeting a known demand at even inflated prices as CEX begins to as CEX has been able to instantly sell every Xbox Series X sold to them so far, with hundreds more customers registering an interest to be informed when additional stock is made available. The chain also sees itself as a superior option to eBay as it offers 24-month guarantee, and the fact that people can buy using vouchers earned from other trading in other products. CEX currently sells the Xbox Series X for £690, a considerable markup on its $450 retail price, although it's not quite as eye-watering as the one for the PlayStation 5. If you have an Xbox Series X to sell, CX will buy one from you for £550. Both of the cheaper options for a new console, the PS5 Digital Edition and the Xbox Series S, are sold for no markup. Meanwhile, CEX's website lists the PS5 Digital Edition at £360 and the Xbox Series Series S at its £250 retail price. It's also significantly less RRP for trade-ins. In other words, you might make a loss handing one over. Eurogamer contacted CEX for comment, and that's where the article finishes. Now, where do we start with this one? Where do we start? Anyone who has used CEX, I think I've just gone on the wrong one. Yeah. Oh no, it's just me. Hey, hi guys. Anyone who's used CEX in the past, now I'm an avid fan of using CEX. As someone who likes to collect games, CEX is probably one of the better places to be able to pick up second-hand games. Purely because they seem to have a lot of them and the prices are relatively good, especially if you are a football game connoisseur like myself. Like, I like to play really shit football games that like no one's ever played before. These are the places to kind of go for them because you can usually pick them up for like 50p, between 50p and about £3, which I'm more than happy to pay, especially if it's super shit so I can rip it apart. However, they have always aligned themselves with eBay, and this isn't new news. This isn't new news. If you are a part of the second-hand community, a lot of video game stores will try to align their prices with their online counterparts. Whether or not that'll be a little bit more expensive or a little bit, a little bit below value, purely because they want the footfall through the store. I mean, it's a lot easier for people to be able to buy stuff online, but the demand online is higher because you can buy it from anywhere, and then you have to incur the cost of postage. However, going through, there's nothing better than going into a shop and scout and just browsing. Like, I used to do it as a kid all the time, and I still do it now. I can still walk around Manchester and go into every single game shop, or like vinyl records as well. I love looking at vinyl records, just going in and having a scan through and stuff like that. I hope that stuff never goes away. This is one way to piss people off and make sure they never use your store again. If you are matching your prices online with everybody else when you know it's a hot property, I think if you are a storefront, I don't want to say you're. I mean, this is my opinion, nobody else's. I don't want to see any kind of act of violence happen to anybody at these stores, but you are going to welcome it from people who maybe, I don't know, like, how do you, you're asking, it's just supply and demand. That's exactly what it is. It's just supply and demand, and offering someone £200 more. If I took my PlayStation down to them now, they would offer me £200 more. That benefits me. I only care about me. Do you know what I mean? Again, I know this is probably going to get taken out of context, but if I'm selling my PlayStation, I want to get the most that I can out of it. In terms of, I'm selling it to a shop, not to a person. If I was selling it to a person, I'd probably do it for face value if I know the person. I wouldn't sell it on Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace to anybody and ask for £900. I'd sell it to someone that I knew for face value. But if I'm selling it to a shop, chances are you're going to take whatever they give you, and especially if it's £200 more than what you're expecting for the console, because it's a hot ticket item at this moment in time. So I can understand why they're trying to align themselves with what's going on, because they know full well if they was to even put £50 on top of it, the lines outside the shops would be massive and they would gain £50. But if someone's coming in and paying £800 for it, then why would they not do that? It's just a weird thing. It's just a weird thing, I think. I don't really know how to put it into words, but I don't like what they're doing. But I can also understand from a business point why they're doing it. Why would they cut £200 off of their own threshold so that people will still come in and buy it if they're already buying it at £800? It's a weird situation for them to be in, but it's a business decision that they've gone with. I don't know. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Right, to say, lads, are you going to be playing PES today? Unfortunately, I don't know. Graham isn't. I was going to say Graham isn't with us today. He's not died. It's just he might have died of food overdose. But no, it was his birthday yesterday. If he was one of the only people in the world that didn't know that, so he has taken yesterday and today off. So yeah, it's just me today. But there's no PES. They're offering people what they had paid for their console, like £100 more for trade-ins, and then sell them off for ridiculous amounts of steel bonsai. Crazy and shocked to see EX are doing this. Love CX over game now, but this is shocking in my opinion. Fatman Dave says, I'm 50-50 on this, as Graham would tell you that we have a cousin who works at CEX and he'll just be doing his job, but the ones that are getting the shit because of some higher-ups. Exactly, yeah. The front-facing customers are always one that feel the brunt of this, and they're usually the lowest paid employees. They are shop assistants. They will be restocking shelves and selling you stuff. People in retail. I mean, there was a time, I don't even know if Aldi still is, but Aldi used to pay the most. It could be even Lidl now. They used to pay the most in terms of retail living wage. Well, I used to work at B&M when I started when I was 15. As soon as I got my national insurance card, I worked there until I was 18. And when I first started, I was probably on about, I want to say about £2.90, and when I left, I think I was on about £3.80, because that was the minimum wage for my age group when I left. Obviously, it's a lot more now. I think probably the minimum wage is about £6. But this is like, how old am I now? Nearly 30, so that was like 15 years ago nearly. Jesus Christ, where has the time gone? It's literally an entire like half of my life, literally. But yeah, I think with stuff like this, they are putting their staff in danger slightly, as they're going to be feeling the brunt of this. But ultimately, if you take a step back, it's a business decision. If everyone else is selling them for £850 elsewhere, it doesn't mean they're in the right to sell them that, but they're more than welcome to. Why would they share themselves out of about £200 just for the sake of selling it and getting a good reputation? Businesses a lot of times don't care about the reputation they perceive as long as they're getting money through, and they know if they've got them in store, people are going to want to pay them, because they don't want to. Like, I went to get my hair cut yesterday, and the bloke who was cutting my hair said that he was absolutely devastated that he can't get a PlayStation 5 for his kid at Christmas. He said he would have paid £1,000 just to ensure that he has one underneath the tree at Christmas for his son, because his son is his world. This is the kind of thing that he's going to walk into the shop and just take one off for £850. He'd have saved up all year for it, and he doesn't want to let his kid down. That's what these kind of scalpers and stores like this are trying to benefit off the back of, the at any cost purchase, shall we say. I think that's probably the best way to put it. At any cost purchase is the nail on the head. You're trying to sell this console, and someone will buy it at any cost to ensure that they don't let their loved one down, their child, or even themselves, because they've worked so hard to be able to try and afford one, and they're going to treat themselves because they haven't gone out all year. But yeah, it's a weird situation that a high street store has them in, and they're giving you £200 more then I'm thinking about taking it down myself. I could do it at 200 quid. I'm only joking. I'm not going to sell this baby. But for the extra £200 on top of the face value, that's a massive amount of money, especially around Christmas time, especially if you manage to get one. Say, for instance, you got, oh my God, it's actually snowing outside in Manchester, ladies and gentlemen. It's genuinely snowing. Wow, so that's me not going to the driving range later on then. Especially like if you was managed to get one on like Very for £450 and then you sold it for £650, you could pay Very off and then get £200 more. It sounds like a good deal, in honesty, doesn't it? If you're skint over Christmas, that sounds like a very good deal if you've got the opportunity to be able to get one. But yeah, it needs must at this moment in time. I'm not saying that CEX are in the right for being able to do it, but they're not in the wrong either. It's a very weird situation to be in, but it's one they found themselves in. Samalda says, yeah, he's putting the staff in real shit position as they are at the stores. I think I've already read that one. Gary Class says, morning, Bib. Morning, Shagger. How's it going, mate? Samalda says, maximising profits while they can with for a few months while the prices will be back to normal when more consoles are in circulation. Exactly. But people won't forget this. People will not forget this. Then again, people have said this about Weatherspoons when they let all the staff go. And then once they're back open again, the people who said that they'll never step foot in them again was back in there having food for £6. Do you know what I mean? So people have short memories, but people won't forget it at the same time. Put it this way, it's not going to stop me from going in there and picking up cheap, shitty football games for 50p. But yeah, that's the first story. I think that'll probably get the blood flowing a little bit. It's not the best story to start off with in terms of juicy gossip. It's a bit of a downer, but hopefully we can try and bring you back as we go along. Through the show. Some other massive news. Some of you may have seen this on Twitter yesterday. Let's flip back to the next screen. Woo! Boom. Veteran PlayStation 5 developer leaves Sony to form Bokeh Game Studio. Now, I'm not sure whether or not I am actually pronouncing that right, but that's what we're going to run with. Sorry, just before we move on, Steel Banzai says maybe we should buy the PS5, go make £200 profit from 6, and then go and buy the Series X. That's what will happen. Maybe, if that's what you're massively into, then yeah, absolutely. Moving back into the story then by Don Peppiatt for VG247, a group of veteran game developers have left Sony in order to form a new Japanese development outfit, Bokeh Game Studio. Now, names like this, I usually laugh at Graham for trying to pronounce because I'm so Mancunian, I cannot pronounce anything that isn't like Michael, Steve, Dave. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got that literate tongue to be able to pronounce them. So I sincerely apologise to anyone that can pronounce this, or if I am absolutely butchering these names, apologies. But Kanzonu, I've read the different one. Kiichi Toyama. Jesus Christ. Best known for the director of Silent Hill and the Gravity Rush series, has left Sony in order to join a newly found Japanese studio headed up by other veteran developments. Kazunobu Sato, who was the lead designer of PlayStation 3 title Puppeteer and worked on The Last Guardian, and Junya Akura, I think I've nailed that one. Junya Akura, lead designer of the Gravity Rush game series, has also left Sony, joining Toyama in establishing the new studio. For fuck's sake. That is... I apologise again if I've absolutely butchered them, but it's only going to get worse from here. Bokeh Game Studio has revealed to the world in a video that included 3 developers chatting about how game development has changed in the 2+ decades in which they have been part of the industry. It is hard, there are responsibilities, but we have our freedom, says Akura. Seemingly cautiously optimistic about stepping away from Sony. This is the most important I want to enjoy creating from now on. Not much is known about the studio yet, but Toyama notes that other established game developers are set to join the veterans at the new studio. I want to enjoy creating from now on, Toyama explains. Many people we've worked with in the past are joining us too. I'm convinced that we'll be able to deliver something everyone will enjoy. First, I want to fulfill our fans' expectations, but at the same time, I want to go back and enjoy how fun it is to make games. I want to share that feeling. I want to share the feeling. Sorry, I just burped at the same time, and I apologise if that's come through. I want to share that feeling to the players. This is what I'll aim for from now on. No projects or titles have been announced by Bokeh Game Studios. At the same time of writing, though, a little concept art, seemingly in the vein of Silent Hill, can be seen in the video above. So this is 2 minutes long, so we may not watch the entirety of it. YouTube algorithms and all that. But yeah, it's this. What does everybody think of this? So they've got 3 massive, massive names in video games, all starting their own game studio. Are they trying to take a lead from Kojima and creating their own video game company so they have the entirety of freedom to be able to produce exactly what it is that they want? Do they think that they're going to start with a survival horror game because they think that Silent Hill deserved? I mean, look at that. That is exactly what the article was just stating then. Oh no! There we go. Look at that. That looks like something from Silent Hill. Straight off the bat. I mean, 1 second. Only has 971 subscribers. Subscribe. Yeah, that's definitely in the vein of a Silent Hill kind of concept art, if you ask me. So, does that mean that they're going to be working on a potential survival horror game? I think there is still ways in the market for a survival horror game. I don't think we've established absolutely everything that we could from a survival horror franchise. We've had Resident Evil 3 this year, which was a fantastic game, in my opinion, as a Resident Evil buff. It didn't touch every single note that I feel it should have done, especially with the clock tower being removed from it altogether. There is a lot of things that I would have preferred them to do down the Resident Evil 3 series, but there's been a lot of survival horror games that have been released this year, but I still don't think it's scratching that itch that survival horror fans are craving for. Is this something in the same vein as Silent Hill? I mean, people are still craving. They are absolutely craving for a PT style game. We got that in a sense with Resident Evil 7. Again, I always hate, comparing both of them, because one of them is an out and out survival horror game that will it's a third person. It's just a zombie game, isn't it? Resident Evil. Let's be honest. It's a survival horror zombie game, whereas Silent Hill is more of the psychedelic thriller. Yeah, I'd say psychedelic. Is that the kind of one? Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to describe it. So yeah, they are 2 completely different games in that vein. Are we going to get something that will make you think a little bit more or make you shoot a lot more shit? I don't know. But I do think that there is absolutely still places in the video game community, especially since we went through an article, was it on Monday, about single-player games overtaking multiplayer in terms of things that are being sold and played. That's massive. So if people are clearly looking towards creating single-player experiences, psychological, that's it, not psychedelic, it's like psychological. Silent Hill is psychological more than obviously action orientated. It does obviously have action sequences in it, let's not forget that, but I think it's more psychological horror rather than the action shooting zombies in the face that Resident Evil prides itself on. So I definitely think that there is a lot more things to be explored, shall we say, in this kind of world. But I mean, I'm making all this assumption based off of one little tiny screenshot that we're seeing there from the concept art. I mean, if there was a concept art anywhere, that would look like a survival horror game, but it could be an action game, and that's just one of the villains, shall we say. Gary says you nailed the name Bokeh. Yeah. We've already got a survival horror game. It's called PES 2021 Season Update in my club, says Lake. No comment. I don't play it enough to give a registered comment on that, but I do play Resident Evil a lot. Still playing Days Gone. I was up till 1-ish this morning playing it, so I played it for about 3 hours straight. Man, that game is good. Beans with the sub for 26 months. All right, Bibbers, he says. Steel Bonsai with the sub emoticon as well. Thank you very much, Beans. 26 months, you beautiful, beautiful bastard. I hope you're doing okay today. What have you got planned for the weekend, my son? But yeah, they definitely think that this could be something special. I think we said this about Kojima's game, Death Stranding. I still haven't played it, and I don't think I ever will. I think it was just a bit too far-fetched for me. I play a lot of games. I know a lot of you already know this. I do play a lot of games. Whether or not Death Stranding would be one that I would actually want to play, I don't know. I've seen quite a few people play it. I just don't think it's up there for me. But I'd welcome a new studio trying something along those lines. So we'll see how this one goes. It's very interesting that we've got 3 major video game veterans making their own studio, so we'll see what comes out of that in the coming years. We're not going to see anything for a while, I don't think. They've obviously only just left, so I'd say probably 2023 we'll probably get some proper concept art and maybe a trailer that Jeff Keighley's going to present and drive it into the fucking throats of everyone. Uh, Bean says, "All good, buddy." And I think, and I'm off today and tomorrow, so just chilling. Might try the updated FIFA. I did last night actually. After I finished Days Gone, just before I went to bed, it finished installing, so I had a quick game of it. You know where you start off and it's fucking Liverpool walking out the tunnel. You ain't never walk on. The presentation, by the way, when you first boot up the next gen version of FIFA, is unbelievable. The bus driving in, walking through the tunnel, the emotional package is there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hate saying this, and it's very rare that people will admit it. But You Never Walk Alone, the actual tune, it grates on me so much that Liverpool have it because it's such a good song. It's such an emotional song, and Liverpool have it, and it pisses me right off. But it's a phenomenal. It just sat. The whole presentation is amazing. So if you got the opportunity to experience it, then absolutely do so. Casey Dice says, "Ever play Fortnite?" Oh, well, that is the perfect segue into the next article and our last one for today. Again, this is only a condensed roundup of the video game news. It's not a full deep dive. That'll be back on Monday. But thank you very much, Dice, for bringing that one up because it's going to lead us into our last news story of the day. And it's something that we actually touched on yesterday. And boy, do we like releasing stuff and predicting things that come true over here at Ice Cream Uploads. Me and Graham have probably got 99% of the stuff that we've predicted right. So massive, massive points to us. We will blow our own trumpet or I'll do it for us. I don't care. But Fortnite might be getting a Master Chief plus other Halo goodies. We mentioned this yesterday after announcing that some rumours had been teased around God of War, and we said, what's next? It's a PlayStation exclusive. Are Xbox going to be getting something like Master Chief, or someone from Gears of War, or a Forza car, you know, driving around and that? A Forza car is going to be part of the cars that you can get in and drive around. Who knows? However, it looks like we may be getting some Master Chief action. Shout out to Carson, morning Shagger. Hope you're doing okay. Anyway, Epic's game is now the Smash Bros of shooters. This has been written by Patricia Hernandez for Polygon. Fortnite has shown no signs of slowing down this year after a record-breaking Marvel event and recent tease of God of War crossover. Leakers are reporting that the Bubblegum Battle Royale game might soon be getting a Halo collaboration as well. Right now, data miners and leakers are sharing small, somewhat blurry images, apparently hailing from Web Forum 4chan. Take that with a pinch of salt. There appears to be shown Master Chief in the skin selection menu for Fortnite. Additionally, there are also images that show Tiny Warthog and Pelican, both of which are vehicles you can use in Halo. Oh, baby. Now, there's some embedded stuff in here as well that we'll skip past because no doubt it will be listed in the article as well. Polygon has reached out to Epic Games to verify the authenticity of the images, but it's worth noting that the timing makes sense. Previously, Halo Infinite was supposed to be getting out for the holiday season for Xbox Series X, but it's now been delayed until 2021. Massive error. Getting a Fortnite cameo for December instead would have been a good way to maintain interest in the brand while Microsoft puts the finishing touches on the upcoming shooter. For now, Fortnite fans will still have to settle donning the Mandalorian signature Beskar armor. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that are watching this on watching this live or watching this on YouTube, you can see pictures of the Master Chief and also a Warthog and the Pelican. My God. Ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned this yesterday. Are we going to see something exclusive from Nintendo? Are we going to be driving? Are we going to be jumping around on a Yoshi? Are we going to see Mario and Luigi make an appearance? Are we going to be dressing up as Princess Peach, shooting shit? I don't know, but this is definitely something that we kind of predicted. If PlayStation are making PlayStation only and exclusive content for Fortnite, then Microsoft are never going to let that go. Nintendo will never let that go. We are going to start to see new exclusive stuff being rolled out and put onto each console for each individual community to be able to use. It's a bit of a ball ache for the people who want to be able to play as these other characters, but yeah, I mean, if you're playing it on PC, I imagine you're going to have the same experience as those on Xbox. You'll be able to play as like the Master Chief and things like that. But the Nintendo gang and PlayStation gang, unfortunately, you're going to be only have it on one place to play, unless you obviously count PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. But yeah, I think this is massive. having little characters in there. I say little characters. Having characters like this inside of a game like Fortnite, the juggernaut that is Fortnite, is just keeping the game relevant. It's just keep on ticking it over. Playbase might be falling. Tell you what, put the Mandalorian back in. Get Bibby and Graham and the rest of the ice cream team back in playing it. You want to bring more Star Wars stuff? Tell you what, bring in the whole entire Star Wars franchise in December last year and make them play with lightsabers. The whole world went mad for it. So whenever they potentially might see the play base starting to dip slightly, a dip in Fortnite's world is probably like 2 million people stop playing it. Put something out that people want. The Mandalorian being brought into this game has turned the world upside down. And there is so many more people that have come back to it. Like, I don't know if I'm not a very, very good Fortnite player. In a gunfight, I'll probably beat you. But when it comes to the building stuff and you're throwing up walls and shit, my head blows and I don't know what to do. I start building a ramp and then I get shot in the back of the head. I have no idea what I'm doing. But in an out-and-out shootout, I'll put myself up against some of the best. But the building stuff I can't do. However, towards the back end of last season, like I probably started playing it with about 3 to 4 weeks left of the season, you could tell at the player base it was just either new people or people that had returned. Now, this week, the hardcore have come back. There is walls being built in every single shootout, left, right, and centre, and it's very difficult for a noob like me to be able to try and tackle it all. But you get there eventually. So stuff like this does bring people back. Let's not forget that. You're bringing franchises in that people will love and adore. This is what people want to see in their video games, and this is why Fortnite will and continue to be the best battle royale game that there has. Since Radical Heights is no longer with us anymore, rest in peace. If you didn't play Radical Heights, everything else is shit compared to that. Casey Dice says, people hate it, but there is no denying it's a huge longevity in it. Yeah, absolutely. Bean says, have you played the new season? Yes, I think I'm probably level 5. I know Graham's a bit further on than I am. Days Gone has got me by the bollocks at the moment, so I can't really get off that. Samaldo says Kratos is in Fortnite store today for everyone, so looks like they won't be platform. Is it? Because I'm sure we read the article said it was a PlayStation exclusive. Interesting. I might have to boot up my Switch and see whether or not it's on there. Fatman Dave said it's going to be ironic that Master Chief is going to look better in Fortnite than in his own game. Touche. Gary Clark says they need to add Craig from Halo Infinite in Fortnite. Oh, yeah. I was like, Craig Pitt? Mr. Colour Runner himself? Yeah, I know what you mean. Casey said, feels pointless getting an Xbox, all available on PC. They'll have content planned. Solo is easy if you need an ego boost. Believe it or not, I play a lot on solos. It's the building stuff. I mean, if you really, really, really want to play it easy mode, just go play it on the Nintendo Switch. Play it on the Nintendo Switch with a controller on the big TV, and you'll win pretty much every single game. Bean says, Radical Shites, where's the ban button? Fuck you in your 26 months. Only joking, mate. But yeah, again, that is your condensed news for Friday, the 4th of December. I was going to play some games this afternoon. I was going to go to the driving range, but that snow outside, I don't know if you can just see it through the window. Let me bring it up. Oh, that's not it. Is this it? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but the snow is falling here in Manchester. So it's probably not going to happen today, golf-wise. I do have some work bits that I need to do before I get back online. But you may see something from us this afternoon, if I'm being honest now, because I don't really want to leave the house and drive down the motorway while it's snowing. You're just asking for an accident, aren't you? I don't want to die before my 30th and Christmas. You know what I mean? I've got some good shit coming. But yeah, that is it for today on The Scoop. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to host this for you this week. It's been a belting show. I mean, the last 3 months, you guys are coming in with the clutch every single time, with the host, with the subs, with the general chatting in the chat. It just makes our life a hell of a lot easier because it's not just 2 northerners shouting at each other. And obviously, for the last 2 days, just me and him. The Suspicious Pixel says, no snow here. It's unfortunate. Samantha will be fucking buzzing downstairs. I'm surprised she didn't come barging through the door saying that it's snowing outside. Like I said, it's falling here too in Manchester, in the Manchester of Finland. KC says it's not in my part of Manchester yet. I see. I'm from Tameside. I live in Tameside. I am from Tameside, but yeah, I live in Hyde. So yeah, it's snowing in Hyde at the moment. It's just got a little bit more thicker. Have a good one, everyone. Says Steel Bonsai. Great stream, Bib. Take it easy, mate. Catch you soon, says Beans and Garrett. Love to you all. But if you do want to get involved with the show, there is 2 ways that you can do that. Chatbot isn't on, so you'll have to take notes. But you can find us on all social media platforms with Ice Cream Uploads. It's very, very unique. You'll find us. You'll see the logo that you've come to love and adore. The second place, get into Discord. Again, I haven't got the link to be able to post to you, so get into the description if you are on YouTube, or go into our Twitter. You'll be able to find it all on there. But that'll be it for today and this week's episode of The Scoop. If you do want to get involved, then find us on our social medias, as I've just mentioned. Send us your thoughts and impressions along with the URL. We'll then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time on Monday, Mr. Graham Day? I can hear him from Salford. He said 10 a.m. ish. We'll wait to see what time. Yeah, I know you all love that. But yeah, we'll be back at 10 a.m. ish on Monday with some more content in terms of The Scoop. We'll be doing some ad hoc stuff this weekend anyway, because it looks like none of us are going out or doing anything. But until then, guys, it's been our absolute pleasure to be able to bring you this show this week. But until then, there's only 2 things we want you to know, and that is stay frosty.